Welcome to the future, where the glass is half full and you'll need new glasses, where you'll be jumping from conclusions.
The past is annulled, and a new future is born.
Never before in history has so much meant so little to so many. AD on the radio.
It's you and the senorita, woofer blowing up the tweeter, cause it's me up in the speaker. Knocking the mama seat top down like a player, and the sound up in your ears, it is the dopest rhyme say. Running game like a cheater.
A woman is like a tea bag. You can't tell how strong she is until you put her in hot water. Eleanor Roosevelt. Happy International Women's Day. You are intelligent, you are beautiful, you are strong, you are smarter, you are cooler headed than us. Without you, we are absolutely nothing. Thank you. It would really suck to be on this planet without you. Happy International Women's Day. A time to reflect on progress that's been made, to call for change, and to celebrate acts of courage and determination by ordinary women who have played an extraordinary role in the history of their countries and their communities. 2016 theme for International Women's Day is Planet 50/50 by 2030. Step it up for equality. One final quote. You know, I could go on and on about Women's Day, but from the perspective of a man, doesn't seem like the best thing to do. Old people don't know anything about being young. White people don't know anything about being black, and a man doesn't know anything about being a woman. But a man can tell you what it would be like without a woman. It would be a terrible, terrible place. So I thank you, each and every one of you. Today is your day, and I will end this very short acknowledgement because it is not my place or my business to talk about International Women's Day. I'll end this very short acknowledgement of International Women's Day with a quote from a woman that I admire the most. If I ever have a daughter, I will buy this woman's biography and give it to my daughter and go, this is it. Read it, learn it, know it, love it. This is how you should be living your life. And the quote is, you know what? Bitches get stuff done. You know what? Bitches get stuff done. Tina Fey. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you for being part of our radio family on International Women's Day. I don't know if you caught it or not. But everybody thought Mitt Romney was going to take a swing at being president. Everybody thought that with him making a big statement about how he thought Donald Trump was, in fact, the devil and indicative of the decline of Western civilization and how we absolutely must not vote for him. Everybody thought that whole speech, that cute little homily he broke off the other day, was him getting ready to take a stab at being president. As it turns out, not so much. Or at least not so much yet. Did you catch this? I can't believe that in this day and age, people actually think this is a good idea. I guess it must work. I guess it's one of those things that costs money. And if it didn't work, people wouldn't continue spending money on it. But Romney has broken off support of Marco Rubio. He's thrown in behind him. How? With a robocall, which will be robotically calling people in his home state of Florida. So if you're one of those folks listening on Real Radio 104.1 in Orlando, Florida, well, then there's a very good chance you might be hearing this at some juncture in the not too distant future. This is Romney's robocall in support of Rubio.
Hello, this is Mitt Romney, and I'm calling on behalf of Marco Rubio for president. I believe these are critical times that demand a serious, thoughtful commander-in-chief. If we Republicans were to choose Donald Trump as our nominee, I believe that the prospects for a safe and prosperous future would be greatly diminished. And I'm convinced Donald Trump would lose to Hillary Clinton.
Uh-huh. Do you see how he started that call? Could not sound less enthused. Could not sound less enthused. By the way, I will stab someone when I get out of here if I hear that bell one more freaking time. I don't know who it is that I have to take to the mat. I don't know what letter I have to send for the umpteenth millionth time, but I will end someone's life in a fiery ball of death when I get out of here. Holy freaking God. Although it's been pointed out to me numerous times by various listeners that we've come to expect that jarring lack of professionalism on your show. Bleeps and blops from the computer. Yeah, bleeps and blops from the computers is sort of what we've come to know and expect around here. Oh, really? Fan-freaking-tastic. Fiery ball of death. It's going to rain down on some engineer when I get the hell out of here. Oh, God. Volunteer firefighters suspended for saving a life. How does this work? We'll get to it next. Tonight you're cutting loose and having fun. That's my job, and my job's about to get done.
Where the left and right come together for fundamental truths. AD on the radio, on Twitter at ADSXE.
Yeah, I do what I want, when I want, how I want. Every day you're going and working, running that rat race at that pace and that place will leave a bad taste for anyone, everyone working day after day. So buddy, I gotta say, yo, there's gotta be a better way. Yeah, and you do what they told ya. Company man, feel it, a mindless little soldier. How can you live like that and maintain your composure before it's begun? Your life's already freaking over. Yeah, I do what I want, when I want, how I want.
Picture this, if you will, for a moment. Volunteer firefighter, Captain James Kelly. He stands on the side of the highway in Stafford County, Virginia, cradling a blue, limp, on the verge of death body of an 18-month-old little girl. That 18-month-old little girl, her body close to lifeless. Her father had called 911 minutes earlier to report that she was having a seizure in his car. Volunteer firefighter Captain James Kelly. Volunteer. He'd been the first to arrive on the scene. And he had a decision to make. Do you wait? Literally only God knows how long for the medics to get there? Or, as this toddler verges on death, unresponsive, do you load the kid into the back of the truck and take her to the hospital himself? What do you do? What did he do? And how did he end up suspended? We'll address this a little later on in the show. Right now, though, let's take a look at the events of today. Funkhauser, how are you, and what is going on in the world?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
I'm okay. I'm going to America's Got Talent taping tonight.
Oh?
Yeah, it's in my city, and I'm going to go see the auditions.
Are you going to just, hang out in the background and be like, boo, that's not talent. More talent, My Little Pinky, than you folks. What the hell? I had to come up the hard way in show business, and so should you. I've been working at this for the last 15 years, and I'm still broke. And you know what? That's the way you do it. You don't go on some stupid show and immediately get catapulted to superstardom, you born with a silver spoon in your mouth millennial, expecting absolutely everything now. Or do you just go, yay, that was good. They're good at impressions. Which do you do?
I'm just there to see Simon Cowell. I did see a bunch of people in line yesterday because it's in my hometown, like a block away from my house, so it's at the convention center. And
Simon Cowell, proof that air conditioning works and men have nipples too.
Just so to see 200 people.
So uncomfortable. Why does he wear those shirts? Why does he have such prominent moobs and wear those shirts that are just like, I've got moobs and I don't care? Maybe it's a statement. You know what? I'm so rich. I'm so awesome. I can get whatever I want in this world. Forget any woman. I can get whatever I want in this world. I've got moobs, and even those don't slow me down. Check them out. Can I get a tighter shirt? The hell's with that guy?
It's funny to see all the cloggers in line And, down the street
Wait, all
there.
the cloggers? You mean there's more than one clogging event? Like clog dancing?
Yeah, there's groups of people in.
Do you live like in a Germanic or Dutch neighborhood that there's like an overabundance of clog dancers
they're in line. They probably drove for miles and miles. I remember every talent show that you go to, there's always a clog or two, and this one there happened to be like 5 or 6 groups of clogs.
I've never once in my life. My family's part German. I've never once encountered clog dancing in real life. I don't know where you've been hanging out or what you've been doing, but if you can run into clog dancers on a regular basis, I think, you just look. It's well established that Funkhauser leaves a richer and more varied life than any of us, and I guess part of that includes multiple encounters with clog dancers. There you go.
Mm-hmm. They're so cute.
Okay. So, all right, you're going to go watch clog dancers audition for America's Got Talent tonight.
Yeah,
that's good.
Probably
that
a juggler or two.
Juggler. See, juggler, I would expect.
I'll try to keep track of the one I think will make it to TV. I hope it's not like a 5-hour thing, where they just one act after the other. That would.
So are they like obligated to put at least? Well, no, because like they televise the auditions, right?
Yeah, but they highly edit them. So,
yeah,
I don't know what I'm going to be seeing tonight.
I don't know. As with regard to America's Got Talent, all I know is no Howard Stern equals AD no Wachi.
Yeah. This is the only way I'll see it, is by going. And it's me and Canadian Jane's 7-month anniversary, so what a better time to go out and do...
Wasn't there, like, pressure to celebrate the 6-month anniversary, like, a month ago?
Yeah, but that was Valentine's Day. We did that.
Okay.
Knocked that one out. Bam. Remember?
I do remember. You had sex in a child's bed after staying in a spare room on Airbnb.
Yeah, and we both reviewed each other.
Aha! You did! You never admitted it before, but you did. You totally did. Ha ha! Eventually, I'll catch you with your guard down. Oh, so go on. Yes, 7-month anniversary. Well done.
So yeah, that.
Did you knock the nameplate with a little baseball glove? And,
What's that sound? I think.
Did you knock the nameplate with the kid's name above the bed off the wall as you were consummating your 6-month anniversary in the place where he sleeps?
Are we on the air still?
With puppies in my face and dad gotta join the human race. Time for a yawn and a stretch and a walk, you see. They know my order at the restaurant across the street. That's why when I shuffle in, my coffee's already waiting for me. Breeze on the patio, outdoor table, sitting with my puppies, Homer and Mabel, wondering how the rest of the day will be. Just then a kid stops by and Homer jumps up to say hi. Laughing kids and happy dogs, and yeah, that's kinda all you need. Sunshine coming my way, nothing's gonna change how I feel today. Nothing's gonna get in the way of my perfect day, perfect day. Sunshine coming my way, nothing's gonna change how I feel today. Nothing's gonna get in the way of my perfect day, perfect day.
Don't get the blues, get all the news. We mean all of you guys out there in Radioland. All aboard!
He's back. AD on the radio.
Give it up, yeah. Give it up, yeah. Bring this on, come on, come on. That's the way you do what we do. That's the way you do what we do. That's the way you do what we do. You do what we do. You do what we do. That's the way you do what we do. That's the way you do what we do. That's the way you do what we do. You do what we do. You do what we do. Well, it's a new one. Here I come again, coming again, taking it back to the place where I'm.
Hey, Funkhauser, do you remember when you did go away on your Airbnb 6-month anniversary celebration with Canadian Jane and wound up staying in the kids' room? Do you remember the name? Because I know there was a nameplate over the children's bed that you had sex in, but do you remember the child's name?
I don't think so. Brandon?
Brandon?
Something?
Yeah.
Something, new, like Jaden or...
I don't know. I just thought it'd be a fun detail, to look back on as you and Canadian, as the months and years fall away in the relationship you have going with Canadian Jane, which seems to be a good, happy, and healthy one, and I'm very stoked for both of you. As the years fall away, it'll be cool to have those little benchmarks, like as you look back. Hey, do you remember our 6th anniversary? We went and stayed by the beach and had sex in a 9-year-old's bed. His name was Brendan.
That is an angle, but one I'm probably not going to take.
Yeah. Do you think you'll ever do that Airbnb thing again where you wind up staying in a kid's room? Did you know it was the kid's room when you booked the Airbnb?
I wasn't really looking that close to the pictures of the walls and stuff and the toys.
No Spider-Man bedspread to give it away. Was the bed you did it in shaped like a race car? Do you feel unclean and creepy now?
If I could,
because I do just talking about it
in like the world, not in the court of the world, I would plead that now at this point.
It's such a sitcom thing. Because what are you gonna do?
What if we name our kid Brandy?
What are you going to do? You book a romantic vacation by the beach at an Airbnb. You're adjacent to all the good times. It is your 6-month anniversary. It's also Valentine's Day. They did leave you a little bottle of wine. They knew what was going to happen in that room. Really, the responsibility falls to the mother of the child for booking a couple on Valentine's Day into her kid's room. That's just that's her cross to bear, not yours, but something that will live in your memory forever.
Probably more yours than mine.
Oh, no, I won't let it die.
Thanks.
Every anniversary you have. I'll ask you if you're going to be consummating the anniversary by having sex in another child's bed that you meet, that you get set up in on Airbnb by a mother that just needs to pay the bills. Single mother, just doing what she has to do to get by in this world. Yeah, that's... The longer you let that sit there, the creepier it is. Let's do some news. Do we still have the, okay, let's just
this
get to the...
is My Witness News. In no way, shape, or form fair and certainly not balanced. And now, super producer to the stars, Barry Funkhauser.
There was stars on the wall, too, next to the name. So you can take super producer to the stars and use it in a different context, I guess.
There's the line. There's Funkhauser crossing it. Real classy. Let's just get to the story. When we had all our stuff erased by some idiot that came in and got rid of our entire soundboard, probably the same person that is incapable of making the bings, bongs, and boops go away that emanate from this computer and go out over the air in the most unprofessional fashion possible that I've been informed is just what people have come to expect of our show. Did they get rid of that one too?
I don't...
Real classy. Why don't we just go to the story?
All right, news.
Kim Kardashian threw her back out.
Oh, probably from bending over backwards to defend Kanye. 30 years of not being able to lean against chairbacks. Go on.
Kim Kardashian posted a nude photo on Instagram yesterday morning.
I would imagine after racking her brain for the biggest way to say F you to all the Women's Day pioneers who struggled to get women taken seriously. By the way, she said that she said, what did she say? She said it was a nude selfie taken 1 year and 25 pounds ago. I think it was photoshopped. I do. I really do. Bette Midler had the most awesome response to that ever. I think Bette Midler said for Kim Kardashian to take a photo of a part of her we haven't seen yet, she'd have to swallow a phone. I thought that was kind of brilliant. Oh, Bette Midler, shots fired. Go on, what else?
Gwyneth Paltrow says she's going to stop acting to focus more on her website.
Right, Gwyneth Paltrow has a website where she sells really, really expensive stuff, and she's decided to hang up acting. She's retiring from acting to focus more on her website. And if you are excited by this news, you're Gwyneth Paltrow. Go on.
Will Smith committed to Bad Boys 3.
Have you seen Bad Boys 1 or 2?
Nah.
I hear they're like really good. I don't know. Bad Boys 3. A lot of people are stoked about this. Will Smith is all committed. Now the tough part. Signing Martin Lawrence. He only agreed to do the movie for any money, under any circumstances, anywhere and any time. So, tough negotiator. Go on.
The World Clown Association is holding its annual convention in Orlando this week.
Yeah, I wonder if any listeners in Orlando on Real Radio 104.1 have seen
They better,
any of
dude.
it.
I mean, come on. Some of us should apply. There's listen to all you clowns on Twitter. Get on it.
If you are in Orlando, if you're one of our listeners in Orlando and you've seen the annual convention of the World Clown Association, if you have pictures, hook it up. Tweet us at ADSXE at Funk FM.
That's the coolest thing ever. All we have is the Santa, drunk Santas around Christmas. They have a thing.
In San Diego, they have Comic-Con. That's kind of a thing.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of apparently the membership to the World Clown Association down this year, but only because so many members dropped out to run for president. You know what the really, really interesting thing about the World Clown Association convention is?
Aside from the fact that there's World Clown Association, what?
Well, the interesting thing about it is that there are thousands, literally thousands of clowns in attendance, yet somehow only 2 cars in the parking lot.
Oh, man, where's the Karate Kid? Dang it.
Yeah.
Oh, I got something similar. Hold on here. Is it too late now to shave my body?
I really think that you should only
Not
use
the same.
that in context when we are talking about Justin Bieber, because when you play the audio of yourself singing that line, go on, do it again.
Oh, I can't now. It's gone.
Oh, okay.
That's how it
When you
works.
play that line out of context, it just sounds like you're a creepy guy that has sex in children's beds after you.
Oh man,
after you celebrate your 6
get it all out of your
6 month
system now. All right.
Oh,
Because if I'm coming in and clocking in every day, remembering Braden's name.
so it was Braden. You knew all the time.
I think so.
You're just like, oh, Brandon, Jaden, who
Whatever.
knows? No, it was definitely Braden. People should definitely understand.
I disavow, okay?
Go on. All right, what else do you got?
The parent company of Hometown Buffet has filed for bankruptcy.
Oh, man. Wow. Losing his presidential bid, becoming Donald Trump's lackey, and now this. Not a good couple of weeks for Chris Christie. So, like, Hometown Buffet, I'm very familiar with Hometown Buffet because, like, when I first started going back and forth between California and Texas for my multitude of different radio jobs, I was like, I have a place in both cities now, but like I was living in corporate housing during the time I was in San Diego, and the corporate housing had no kitchen in it. So like I'm literally eating restaurant food or deli food or pre-prepared food from somewhere else, like 3 meals a day, and it really gets expensive. And you know what? You start hating food when that happens. You're just like, everything is so salty. That's one thing that you realize when you go to restaurants constantly. They put so much freaking salt in everything. But I remember when I started spending more time in California, all my friends were like, man, you're going to be ripped and toned and shredded. Because like I used to be kind of a gym rat when before I clawed my way to middle management in corporate America. And not a gym rat because I was like, you even live, bro. But because like my shrink was like, hey, you have depression. I was like, yeah, I know. And he was like, you can do one of two things. You can be medicated or you can commit to going to the gym a couple times a week, because it actually, now here's the thing. If you suffer from depression, I'm not making light of it in any way, shape, or form. But if you can get yourself motivated up and out of bed or off the couch or wherever it is that you're stuck when you're depressed, if you can get yourself into the gym and you can get the heart rate up and you can get the sweat going, it produces a lot of the same effects of a serotonin reuptake inhibitor, like, I don't know, like Prozac or something of that nature. So I didn't want to be medicated because I knew that could change my personality, and my personality kind of paid the mortgage. And so I was kind of a gym rat for a little while when I was living mostly in Texas before doing that whole thing where I was back and forth between Texas and California all the time. And felt great, and really, really enjoyed my time in the gym. It definitely did a lot for my headspace, and being in shape makes you feel pretty good as well. And everyone was like, oh, you're moving to Cali, all you're going to do is eat tofu, kale, surf, and work out on the beach. And what I wound up doing was living in corporate housing and eating at Hometown Buffet 3 times a day because it was the cheapest thing. It's like $6 for breakfast, $10 for lunch, $12 for dinner. And it was like far and away the cheapest, most expedient thing. And yeah, I'm very familiar with the large heaping helpings of sadness and shame that Hometown Buffet serve up on a regular basis. So I have a bittersweet, I have a bittersweet attitude toward the fact that Hometown Buffet has filed for bankruptcy and might be going away. On the one hand, they got me through a difficult period. On the other hand, they introduced a period in my life where I became a middle manager that couldn't manage my own middle. All right, go on.
I still need to take the Canadians there. I took them to Denny's once. They're like, "What's this place? I can order all kinds of food." Oh,
are you kidding me? They don't.
Sorry for asking.
They don't have Denny's in Canada. I've been to Canada. I think I've seen and eaten at a Denny's.
They've never gone.
Canadian Jane's a vegan. Can she eat anything at Denny's?
She can almost drink the water.
She can so I was a vegan for like 12 years, including a time when I was on the road in a band. Yeah, no. Like, all I ate when I was on the road, was Denny's house salads and toast. Like, that would be it. Could I get the rye bread and a Denny's house salad? And boy, was I over it after my first 6-month tour of America. Then I discovered Cracker Barrel, where you can get a baked potato and salad, and the salad's like... Here. Yeah, I know, but when you're on the road at Cracker Barrel, do your right, man. That's like if you're in a band and you're limited. And the cool thing about places like Cracker Barrel and Denny's is you know what you're getting. Like, it's a consistency. You want to walk in and be like, oh, there's all the same Americana, like the fake antique Americana crap that was on the wall in the last Cracker Barrel. I feel like I'm home. And then you're a vegan and you're eating the delicious salad and baked potato that they have there, and it's really good. And then you're going, these croutons are good, and then someone goes like, yeah, that's because they're soaked in lard, and the cornbread soaked in bacon grease. And you're like, oh God, it's tough. It's tough being a vegan. So or it's tough being a vegan on the road. At home, you can do whatever the hell you want to, but if you're on tour as a vegan, your options are severely limited. But yeah, go ahead and bring Canadian Jane and her brother. Is her brother a vegan as well?
No.
So do the two of you gang up on her in the household? You'd be like, tonight we're having bacon, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Nah.
Or does she hold your meat eating hostage?
We just don't eat meat around her. We can figure it out. Plus, I'm like the cook there.
Really?
The
so
brother
you
will
started
just
cooking
eat whatever happens. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a.
Last night I cooked gluten-free cornbread. Yeah.
Why did it have to be gluten-free?
I don't know. I had gluten-free cornbread meal.
Did it taste all right?
It tastes like cornbread.
Where have you been getting your protein from when you're eating vegan?
Walnuts.
Interesting.
Yeah. Storing it away for the winter.
Honestly, I've started eating this is my favorite. How did we get on this? This is my favorite snack growing up as a kid. Apple with peanut butter on it. It's just it's freaking delicious. Peanut butter is good on absolutely everything. But I noticed that if I have an apple with peanut butter on it, I'm good for the next couple hours. And I think it's a mixture of protein in the peanut butter and the fiber in the apple. It's good stuff. Give it a shot.
Now, more AD on the radio.
Back once again, the ill behavior, delivering and giving you my musical savior. Back once again, it's your boy AD again. Nobody rock a party better than me. Back once again, the ill behavior, delivering and giving you a musical savior. Back once again, it's your boy AD again. Nobody rock a party better than me.
Punished for saving a life, punished for volunteering, and then saving a life in that capacity. As a volunteer firefighter, this is a thing. This happened. Volunteer firefighter saved the life of a dying 18-month-old girl. and somehow has managed to get suspended for it. We'll discuss this. We'll break it all down, and we'll ask what the hell is happening to us. And I understand procedure is procedure, and I'm sure there's people with experience in the medical field and people with experience in the world of volunteer firefighting that are going to be like, hey, this the rules are rules, and rules are there for a reason. And yes, I get that. I understand that. But yeah, we'll talk about this in just a little bit. Right now, though, let's continue with what remains of the news. Super producer to the stars, Barry Funkhauser. How are you, and what is going on in the world? Still picking that gluten-free cornbread out of your teeth?
Yeah, yummy. Blue flour, too. Came out blue. I left him in a little too long. Crunchy outer crust. But it turned out...
Blue flour?
Yeah, weird.
That is unusual.
I get weird stuff. Yeah, here's a life tip. Don't they do those? When you go to the grocery store, go to the very back and look for the clearance items first. Just make a beeline for it, and you find the most interesting things to cook with.
I do that. There's those little racks of like, hey, this used to be $5, now it's a penny.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, sure. Well, why not? I'll put that in my mouth and see what happens. Let's roll the dice on this one.
Man, the day after Valentine's Day, we had heart cake for a week and a half.
Are you sure the flour was supposed to be blue? It's not some sort of creeping death in the form of mold that's going to take you out of the game and make my life inconvenient moving forward.
So far, I'm okay. I'm upright still. Everything's coming out solid.
Let's move right along, real classy. Let's go to the story.
A super lice outbreak hit 25 states.
Yeah. Super lice. They're like regular lice, except no glasses. They wear a cape and change in phone booths. And here's the thing. Super lice, if you're wondering what actually makes them super, it's that they're immune to regular lice treatment. Like, you ever have that in school? One kid gets head lice and you have to have the nurse go through your scalp with a pair of chopsticks, which I always thought felt pretty good. I thought that was pretty cool. It was like my first introduction to like head massages. Have you ever bought one of those things in the mall? They like look really, really weird, but they feel amazing. They're sort of like a wire basket with an opening, and you just plunk them on the top of your head, and they've got these little metal rods on it that like give you a scalp massage. You ever seen those? Oh my God, they feel incredible, and they're always sold to you by shady mall kiosk people. But like, they're really, really awesome. Do yourself a favor, and next time, like, some person of unknown ethnic origin comes up to you trying to stick a half a metal basket on your head, I know that the impulse is to go like, no, thank you, no, get away, get the hell away from me with that. But on this one, unlike the women that were trying to sell me hair extensions in the mall the other day, I was like, really? They're like, you have long hair. He's beautiful. I was like, no, thank you. No, I don't need it. Yeah. Unlike those folks, when you get someone coming after you with a vibrating half metal basket that you put on your scalp, you say yes because it feels awesome. And I know it feels awesome because, well, my introduction to that was the nurse. You know, back in grade school, when one kid has lice, you get the nurse with the chopsticks going through your scalp looking for lice, and then you have to get the lice shampoo if you have. Or I think it's just recommended. If one kid has lice, every mom has to go out and get lice shampoo just in case. But the thing that makes them super lice is the fact that health officials say super lice are immune to regular lice treatment. That lice scalp shampoo that you had when you were a kid, and Timmy played outside too often.
Man, I use everybody else's headphones. Can we move on? I'm starting to itch.
Yeah, it doesn't work. They're not sure what to do. Ugh. Health officials, and ironically, it's kind of left them scratching their heads. Go on.
Yesterday was National Cereal Day.
Yeah,
I celebrated.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
I love cereal, and I forgot to celebrate it.
I had expiring milk, so I had to.
I feel like such a flake. Best-selling
I eat
cereal,
things like you for breakfast.
Best-selling cereal in all of America. What do you think it is?
Corn Pops, Cheerios, Frosted Flakes.
Close. No. No,
Honey Nut Cheerios?
There you go. Honey Nut Cheerios, top-selling cereal in the U.S. Worst selling? Lice Krispies.
Oh, man.
I know.
God.
I'll let you chew on that one for a while.
It just keeps getting worse.
Uncomfortable. All right. Speaking of getting worse, let's talk a little bit about this volunteer firefighter. Volunteer firefighter Captain James Kelly. Picture this. Picture this. He is standing on the side of a highway, Stafford County, Virginia, I believe it is. In his arms, he has the dying, limp, blue body of a little girl, 18-month-old little girl. Her father called 911. She was having a seizure in the car. This volunteer firefighter, he was the first to arrive on the scene. Now, procedure protocol says you wait for medics. But you're a first responder. You're there to respond. What do? Do you wait literally only God knows how long for medics to show up? Or do you take this unresponsive, close to death, life leaving her body with every passing second, 18-month-old little girl? Do you take the toddler and go straight to the hospital yourself? What would you do? Seriously, what would you do? Forget protocol. Forget what you should or should not do. What would you do as a human being? What do you think the right thing to do would be in that situation? Think about it. We'll discuss it when we return.
There's something happening here, and you should know what it is. The Dumbing Up of America. Now, more AD on the radio.
So, Funkhauser, you know how you like to save that sweet, sweet cashola when you go directly to the back of the grocery store and buy stuff off of the bargain aisle, like
yeah, you're darn
gluten-free cornbread that you make with blue flour?
Yummy.
Right. Do you have any of those shopping rewards cards? Like, do you build up points on stuff?
I'm hopping into the Monopoly game right now, man.
What Monopoly? I don't know this.
Okay, so like Vaughn Safeway over on the West Coast, I don't know if it's a national thing, but they're doing the Monopoly game like McDonald's did. You know, you get the little game pieces, and if you collect 4 or 5, you win stuff. And I'm proud to say that with the help of many of my roommates and friends, I am one ticket, one number away from pretty much every single spot on the Monopoly board.
What do you get if you fill up every spot on the Monopoly board?
Well, if 3 people are going to win $1 million, 3 people are going to win $500,000, and then there's like $20,000 college tuition, and then groceries for life, and $5 gift cards, and a jet ski. I think I'm going to get the jet ski.
Oh, right. You've already picked it out?
Well, no, I just have a feeling that I'm going to get the most, the thing that I'm going to have to immediately sell. You know?
Right.
What am I going to do with a jet ski?
Be happy. It's like Daniel Tosh once said, people who say money can't buy happiness have never owned a Wave Runner. Have you ever tried being sat on a jet ski? It doesn't work. But do you have one of those rewards cards where you get points? You know, you build up points, you save money.
Yeah.
Like, are you into that?
10 cents at the pump. Yeah, you use coupons for more coupons. You're darn tootin'.
Yeah. Comedian Brian Regan had a thing or two to say about those.
Hey, is there a cash register left? Just one where you can buy something and immediately walk out the door without dealing with this whole thing? Do you have a rewards card? No. And I'm begging you that this be the end of this conversation. I have money which says legal tender on it, and I have the amount it says on that tag. If I could just give you the money and you release the item, we could do it simultaneously if you need, Indiana Jones style, because I can see the door. I'm so close. Sunlight streaming in. I'm hearing birds chirping. Please release me back into a world of joy. I'm not allowed to do that. I'm required to turn this into a hostage situation. Tell you about our rewards card program. You're going to love listening to every word of this. First of all, it's very easy to get one. I pull a clipboard out from under the counter while people wait in line behind us. And I get so much information from you, your brain will quiver and quake. And if you join today, you get 10% off your initial purchase and 5% off each subsequent, all your future purchases. Do you have a full price card where people pay full price? They walk out the door and they get to watch their children grow up? I want to be with them.
See, I have a rewards card at pretty much every shopping establishment that I attend ever. For that reason, I just wanted to get out of that conversation. I didn't want it explained to me. I didn't want to just, no, give me the card. Give me the card. All you need is my phone number, my email address, and fine, give it to me. Give it to me now, damn it. Anyways. So, where are we on this? If you had the opportunity, the way volunteer firefighter Captain James Kelly did, if you had the decision to make, you're cradling a limp blue body of an 18-month-old girl. Her father just called 911. She was having a seizure in the car. Do you wait? Do you follow procedure? Do you wait an unknown amount of time for medics to show up? Or do you load this toddler, whose life is leaving her body with every second, into your fire truck, and do you beat it to the hospital, sirens blaring? This guy made the choice. Volunteer firefighter Kelly made the choice. He decided to transport the girl in the backseat of the fire truck. She lived. Won the gratitude of the toddler's family, praise of colleagues, and also got him a suspension. Well, rules are rules and laws are laws. But I'm so torn on this because I believe in the law. I believe in the letter of the law. I believe that we are a society of laws, and without them, we are nothing. You know what? It might be a stupid law, but for now, it's the law, and you follow it. And I say that without ever having my belief in that tested by holding the life of an 18-month-old little girl in my hands. And made me think, rules are rules, laws are laws. Really? You know who knew the rules? You know who knew the laws? You know who had a very in-depth understanding of them? George Washington. George Washington. He drank a toast to the King of England every single night. Respected him for what he was. George Washington knew the rules. He knew the laws. He knew what the laws were, but he ignored them. He broke the rules to do what was right, to make America. I'm a simple guy. This is not one of those shows where you gotta... This is not one of those shows where you have to bone up on politics, current events, the Constitution, the Bible, and all of the above to be part of the family. If you're expecting that sort of in-depth dissertation on the vagaries of various political and legal documents when you get into this show, you're going to be sorely disappointed. I'm a simple guy. I'm not the most politically astute fellow in the world. Maybe I'm a bit of a cloth head. Maybe I'm in over my head doing this stuff some of the time, but maybe that's okay. Maybe there are smarter, better people than me to be talking about this. Maybe I don't understand any of it. But this made me think. I, like you, I'm hoping, I know what feels right to me. Do you? Do you know what feels right to you? think that's really what we're all about around here. Knowing where your moral compass's true north is. I've said it before. I will say it again. I'll continue to say it on this show. Why? Because it's important. You know what feels right to you. And what doesn't feel right to me, and what I'm guessing didn't feel right to volunteer firefighter Kelly, was that there was a rule in place, a law in place, whatever you want to call it, that was willing to let an 18-month-old girl die after being bogged down by a rule in a race against the clock for her life. Washington, the Boston Tea Party, Rosa Parks, Ben Franklin, Martin Luther King, Abraham Lincoln, all of the above, you know what they have in common? All of the above. Rule breakers. People that broke rules to do what they knew in their hearts were right. People that made America great. And look, like I said, I don't know. I'm sure there is a valuable medical precedent for the rule that was in place governing this volunteer firefighter's choice. But despite his suspension, he and another volunteer firefighter both suspended. Despite his suspension, he went on the record saying, "I feel comfortable with the decision." So does the chief of the volunteer firefighting unit where he is. His chief, a guy called Christopher Smith, went on the record saying this is one of those situations where actions outweigh policy. The toddler, little baby girl, 18-month-old, Lena, she's healthy. Her father said these two suspended firefighters simply had the best interests of our daughter's care in mind. He was surprised to read the news of the suspension, and he issued the statement. My wife and I feel terrible for the fallout that has happened to these two gentlemen. The actions of these men represent a dedication to their mission, a deep concern of doing what is best for the people they are serving. In our eyes, they are heroes. And I don't know where this is going or where this is going to land or how it's all going to finish up. But if this community and if we as America are denied two people willing to volunteer their time, put their lives on the line as volunteer firefighters and serve their community in this way and follow their hearts and do what's right, if this winds up going further and that community is denied those two people, well then, there's something seriously wrong. Hey, comedian Liz Barrett. Comedian Liz Barrett, she made some jokes about the pleasure that women sometimes give themselves, and it was hilarious.
Once I masturbated so much my cat left. That is just a cautionary tale for all you kids out there. Did you see how women were protesting that hurricanes were only being named female names? Way to focus, ladies. We may not have equal pay, but we have Hurricane Eddie. I don't understand it.
So, did you see this story? Did you catch the story of the naked woman who was, she caused an accident, ran onto a highway, danced on top of a truck. Did you see this? This happened in Houston. And I first heard about it because a buddy of mine in Houston was like, dude, there is a crackhead in the middle of the highway twerking on top of an 18-wheeler. Usually I get angry at people for rubbernecking. If I've been on the road where this happened, these are mitigating circumstances for stopping and watching what was going on. 25-year-old woman got into 2 hit-and-run accidents yesterday morning in Houston. Then she parked her car and ran out onto the interstate. And she was 100% naked. She caused a 3-car pileup and then climbed on the hood of an 18-wheeler and started twerking. There was a massive delay while cops and firefighters tried to get her down. And since it is Texas, they even tried to lasso her. I mean, it's rodeo time in Texas. You see where the idea originates from, but that didn't work. After like 2 hours, some cops jumped onto the hood with her and got her into handcuffs, and then she was taken for a mental health evaluation. First impulse, people are going to make jokes about this. But you know what's interesting? If a guy in a wheelchair is next to you in the grocery store, what are you going to do? You're going to be like, hey, can I help you? Do you need help reaching that? If a guy who seems not necessarily together, not with it mentally, is in the grocery store, what are you going to do? You're going to call for an attendant and ask him to get the hell out of there. You don't know what people are going through. And when at all possible, the first and best option is to always be kind. We hope she's well.